The U.S. Open gets underway today, and some of the world's top golfers are teeing off at Los Angeles Country Club, including Canadian Open champion Nick Taylor. This is the first time the tournament has been held in L.A. since 1948. And for more on this, let's go live to Mark Zecchino, who is traveling with the PGA. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. Obviously, this has got to be a pretty amazing time for Nick Taylor, coming off that incredible win. How do you think he's going to do shaping up going into this course? And tell us a little bit about the course.
Well, it's interesting. That is the big Canadian golf question, right? The TSN golf team arrived on property on Tuesday. We spoke to Nick Tuesday. We walked some holes with him in his practice round. And, the big question is, does he have anything left in the tank? That was one of the most historic moments Sunday night in all of Canadian sports. And, obviously he's still walking on cloud nine. So, does he have momentum coming into this Open Championship, or is he burnt out? That's the big question. As far as his game and the style of play, this golf course, and one thing that's so interesting about this U.S. Open versus other U.S. Opens, U.S. Open is strictly usually one type of player. You've got to drive it straight, keep it in the fairway, keep it simple. There's very little variety and very little options and decisions for the golfers when they arrive at a U.S. Open. This course, LA Country Club, the complete opposite. This is just a beautiful layout, tons of strategy. The golfers will have different ways of getting it done. So we're not looking at one type of player that can win here. This is wide open. So anyone coming in control of their type of game has a chance to win this week. And on day one, on this Thursday, it's going to be as gettable as it's going to be all week. We've got overcast, fairly soft conditions. So we expect for a U.S. Open, pretty decent scoring on the first day.
And you have to assume, coming off such a high, that, there's a lot probably going on in between the ears, and probably some of the biggest challenges for a player who wins a major like that is the mental challenge and trying to keep up, because let's face it, golf is a very tough game to not only win one tournament, but to win many tournaments.
Yeah, and for a Nick Taylor, too, he's probably dealing with a lot this week, Jamie, that he doesn't typically deal with. Media requests from countries that he normally wouldn't hear from, and just people asking for his time more on a U.S. Open. The stuff that Rory McIlroy or John Rahm would typically deal with. Nick Taylor's getting a lot of that this week, because what happened Sunday at Oakdale Golf and Country Club really became an international story. It's not just a Canadian story. 69 years is a long time to end a drought. And, they were the highest TV ratings in over 20 years for a Canadian Open on American soil. Nearly 7 million Americans watched the final round of the RBC Canadian Open. So when you put all this into the mix and then get him here on property, he's got a lot more attention and dealing with a lot more things outside of the ropes than he typically deals with. He's a really level-headed guy, wonderful human being. So I'm sure he's dealing with it nicely, but that doesn't mean he's going to have much left in the tank. We're all hoping he does. We've got 7 Canadians in the field this week, by the way. So we've got a lot of red and white up there with an opportunity to get it done. So we're hoping Nick's part of that story come Sunday.
And what do you think it means, just the impact that his win has on younger golfers, not only just little kids, but even, guys who are just, about to get their pro card, who are about to get on the big stage? How big of an impact do you think that has on those players?
I think a lot of our current players are going to use it as inspiration, because they saw that moment Sunday night and they want that moment for themselves. But in a bigger picture, I think the world of Canadian golf will look back on Sunday at Oakdale 20 years from now the way we currently look back at 2003, Mike Weir's green jacket 20 years later. That Mike Weir green jacket in 2003 really opened the floodgates and got Golf Canada to start really investing in the program. And the program we have now in Canada is just exceptional. And, fast forward 20 years from Mike Weir's win in 2003, and every week on the PGA Tour, we have 6, 7, 8, 9 players in the field, chances to win. This year, we have 4 winners on the PGA Tour. I think in 20 years from now, in the year 2043, we'll likely look back at Oakdale on Sunday and say that is another pivotal moment in the Canadian golf history and community that probably advanced our program ahead decades.
And lastly, speaking of being pivotal, do you think Adam Hadwin has been working on his sidestep and on how to deke out a security blitz?
Saw Adam down here on Tuesday as well. I walked 5 holes with Adam. He's got it. He's got such a great attitude towards this. He's having fun with it. The USGA, United States Golf Association, left a little note in his locker saying, your safety is our #1 priority. So he's enjoying it and comes in with a great attitude.
That was a pretty awesome moment, you have to admit. Mark Zecchino, we appreciate your time and have a great time down there in LA.
Thanks, Jamie. Have a great week.